What's up, my practical people, and welcome back to another episode of The Practical Therapist. I'm here to try to drop a 3-minute or so nugget on something I like to call verbal modeling. So we're going to talk about what it is and how it can be used to help a child with communication. So first of all, what is verbal modeling? One example of verbal modeling is the act of labeling the name of a toy that your child wants to play with. So let's say your child really likes bubbles, cars, balls. These would be the names of the items that you would present to your child. And then you as the parent can say the name of the item. I would say repeating it no more than 2 to 3 times while holding the item either within your child's reach, just out of their reach or grasp, or within their line of vision. So an example of the line of vision would be if you had a shelf, for example, in your child's room, and you had the item on the shelf where the child can't reach it, but they can see it. So they have a direct line of vision to the item that they're wanting to play with. And what you would want to do here, the goal would be to keep your child focused on the desired item and facilitate their imitation of the name of the item without your child getting frustrated. So that's why it's really important when you're verbally modeling the name of an item, not to go overboard and say bubbles, say bubbles, say bubbles, say bubbles 5 or 6 times. Eventually, your child is going to tune you out. He or she is going to become frustrated. And 2 things will happen. Either A, your child will give up and try to go and play with something else, or your child will get very frustrated with you bombarding them with, at that point, what sounds like noise and not the word. And they're going to try to get the item another way, more than likely in a nonverbal way, such as reaching, grasping, or if they're vocal, it may be cries or yells or screams. So you definitely want to keep your imitations or your modeling of the targeted word no more than 2 to 3 imitations, and then you want your child to try to repeat. But again, if you try to go over 3, or you start to use the phrase say it, say bubbles, say this, say that, you will more than likely frustrate your child, and then you will lose the whole purpose of trying to model the word to begin in the first place. And so the next slide, I'm going to show a video of one of my little friends, and keep in mind that at the end of the video, once the video was cut off, the child did receive bubbles, but in the video, you'll see that the mom and I were working on the word bubbles. We had a container of bubbles because that's what my little guy really wanted to play with. And you can see, even in this short 20-second clip, after we had said bubbles a couple of times and he didn't get an immediate reward with bubbles, that frustration started to kick in. Bubbles. Isel has to open bubbles. 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 Can we tell mommy open?
You want me to open bubbles?